Okay, so what is the songwriter secret for those who are new? You know, it's something we have to do, folks. The songwriter secret is simply this. There are many songs that are written that you assume is expressing love or desire for a male or female, when in reality it's expressing desire for a spirit to come to them. And what we're going to look at, we've looked at quite a few of these songs. I've maintained it's in 80 to 90% of songs, and there are a few exceptions to the rule. Gil Scott, for instance, he's not until his death when they made him make a song called Me and the Devil, but he had a long string of songwriter secretless songs that did not give open reverence to the spirit realm, as they like we were told by Roger Monroe in his Trip into the Supernatural interview and book. The elitists, you know, people lump it all into Luciferianism and demonology, and that's not wrong to do so, but to make it make a little more sense to the linear logical thinkers out there, they believe that by using the conjuring arts they can bring forth spirit beings or extra dimensional entities who will assist them in their career. Now, sometimes the way that's explained to them is not as flat out as that. Okay, I've told a lot of tales about that, but and true tales at that. But they are told that there is some sort of shining light or an angelic being. We know Lucifer and his angels masquerade as beings of light. So this light is a common theme that you'll find in the music of any time, but especially in the old school. Okay, nieces and nephews, don't y'all run away from here, because when the elders get on you about your music being so blatantly laced with Illuminati references, all you have to do is point back and say, well, the old school did it too. They just did it a little smoother, but they also showed their dedication to this light, this false light. We know that people use many different terms for the adversary. His name's changed, but his game's the same. But when the term Lucifer is used, which is why I use it in reference to Writer's Secret especially, it has to do with Lucy, Lucent, like Lucent Technology, Lucis Trust, okay, Alice Bailey. It has to do with light, okay, and defer to ferry, like a ferry boat. A ferry carries. It carries people, or bears people. You know, like how much weight can you bear type of bear. That's the bear I mean. So you have Lucifer, or the light bearer. And you'll hear them talk about this light in a number of songs. Let me show you a few. For instance, Sade laments, and Lucifer will take lamentation. Okay, he'll take congratulation without hesitation, but he'll also take lamentation. He will take people's dissatisfaction. Oh, that reminds me, I need to pull up Janet Jackson, because Janet sure enough has one where she was most definitely showing her dissatisfaction. I just about know the lyrics, but for those that I had some trouble remembering, because I do this off memory, I did pull up a couple of lyrics for you. Now, a lot of people have asked me about gospel music, and the reason that I've not done one on gospel music is because I've done the songwriter secret on the old school jams, because like I told you, I found it honest from listening to the old school jams. Okay, that was something that from the time I was a child, you know, I come from musicians, okay, on one side, and music was always a big part of the household. So I know these songs, you know. That's why I can freestyle a songwriter secret pretty much. But I did take the liberty to put this on paper, as felt led to do so, because I wasn't expecting to do a whole lesson on it. I just had a couple of songs that I said, well, now I wasn't clear on where the secret was at in these songs. But Sade, in the case of Soldier of Love, which a lot of her fans thought was eerie, says that I've lost the use of my heart, but I'm still alive. She said, looking for the light, the endless pool on the other side. Now, we've mentioned that before, but let's look at some others. Okay? Even in Parliament Funkadelic, Flashlight, how does it end? Okay? You thought that was just a crazy ending? Everybody's got a little light under the sun. And again, it's this imagery of the light, the star, and the sun worship. Okay? Shining star goes right along with it. Shine your light so you can see what your life can truly be. Okay? Janet Jackson, oh yeah, gotta have that pleasure principle. And it's interesting because oftentimes the way that the lists are delivered in the song, it makes it difficult for you to follow along to the lyrics. You'll know the hook. Everybody knows it's the pleasure principle. Oh, but do you know what she's saying in them lyrics? We're going to pull that up. That's going to be interesting. And then also we're going to look at a couple of interesting ones that boggle my mind. Well, one, it boggles my mind that they actually let this slip out and nobody caught it. And the other one, I'm trying to still determine what exactly are they saying. And the what a fool believes would be the one that I would challenge you to listen to and tell me what you think it's really about. It's in the realm of Luciferianism, but oh, it's done in such a creative way, if you want to call it that. Because how many songs do you know of that are written and performed in a love songs in a third person way? Okay, Michael McDonald of the Doobie Brothers. To find the song, you want to put it up under the Doobie Brothers. But Michael McDonald, of course, sang the lead, and he's a master witch linguist. He's good at this. In other words, he knows how to disguise it very well. But he's singing a song about the most famous relationship of all time, and I don't mean Romeo and Juliet. But he's singing it from a Luciferian standpoint, and I can prove that as we move on to another song that guest stars him, which would be Kenny Loggins' "This Is It." Okay, but let's look at let's start at the top. So, what a fool believes. You look at that on your own. Tell me what you think it is, and I'll tell you what it is. And then for the one that if you're nice with the songwriter's secret, tell me what you believe you hear. For that one, that would be Ya Mo Be There. Ya Mo Be There. James and Michael McDonald. Figure that one out, and you're a bad motor scooter. Alright. So, Love, Light, and Flight. Yes, don't get mad at me about Stevie. I'm from Detroit. If I can say it, if I can't say it, can't nobody say it. Can't let my mama see these. I'll never be able to visit again. But Stevie Wonder, I mean, he was taken as a child. He was put into that business just like with Michael Jackson, because we're going to look at Mike too some more. We're going to look at human nature. But just like with Michael Jackson, you know, don't go so hard on him, because what would you have done if you had been a child raised in that way and brought in this business? Okay? People were willing to give their children over to a mind control program, in essence. As we've pointed that out before, it's bigger than a business. It's not just a business. It's a mind control program, in fact. So, and a lot of times parents are willing to do some bold things. Look at Gary Coleman and his relationship with his parents. A lot of times when the child actors grow up, they don't want no parts of their parents. It's because they figured out that, you know, as slaves to this Luciferian mind control program, Project Janus, a part of Project Janus.
To create duality. I've heard tales of Stevie Wonder driving and other things. And you know, let's just stick to the song. The first lyrics in Love, Light, and Flight. Fuel injected. That song. And don't think I don't know. Listen, I know good music. I know what sound good. Okay? Like Grandma used to say, everything look good ain't good. You have to be less shallow, begin to look beyond the exoteric meanings of things to see the true meaning in a world with a Luciferian elite powers that hide things in plain sight, because they count on you believing that if it look good, it is good. Okay? They do that with the reporter. You know, they do that with the politicians. Politicians be low down, dirty, pedophile, bestiality, devil worshippers, but because they have on a nice, expensive suit and tie, okay, and they got their hair done at Bo Ricks, they can tell you anything. It's raining gold bricks, and you'll go outside with a wheelbarrow. Have mercy. So, Love, Light, and Flight. We'll see if, dang, I meant to put lyrics behind it. It's gonna take forever. It's spinning and spinning around. You know how that goes. Maybe let me put lyrics behind it. First words of the song: make me like paradise. I've heard people say for many years that Stevie not blind as they say. I mean, I don't know that. But again, we're talking about people, especially when they're young and impressionable and poor, impoverished in some way. Leading to this, they only want to show their talent. That's all they're trying to do. But the people that run the business have a whole nother agenda for you. When you get in there, they got plans for you. Okay? This ain't just something I think, it's something I know. And of course, they're led by the spirit beings that, like sting wrapped around your finger, you think you have control of, but in reality, you're wrapped around their finger. Okay? He sings the last verse as the spirit. Oftentimes they'll do that, and that's considered a mark of creativity or genius, creative genius to do that. But Love, Light, and Flight. Take me to the highest house. Take me up and away. You got Prince with My Private Joy. So, okay. Layers of double meaning. You say My Private Joy, well, that's a girl, such a pretty toy. But people say, he said, shoot me up, baby. And the rumor comes out, well, he's talking about using heroin, shooting up that boy. He's awful slick. No, they use that terminology. It's the same philosophy as in, you are my starship, take me up tonight. When Stevie says, take me to the highest heights, take me up and away. Okay, when Charlie Wilson says in You Dropped a Bomb on Me, you took me to the sky, I've never been so high. Even when Stevie says in Rocket Love as a lament, sometimes things don't happen as fast as they would like them to, and so they lament. And he says, you sent me riding on your rocket, gave me a star about a half a mile from heaven, you sent me, you dropped me back down to this cold, cold world. So again, it's these spirit beings that they believe will take them up and give them success. That's the terminology. All right? And again, this is a superstition. Very superstition. A superstition. If you look at Touch of Four-Leaf Clover, Atlantic Star, right? Who also had Silver Shadow. Silver Shadow, you got to hear it. I'm telling people about it. I know you ain't listening. Listen, you tear the comment section up. Explain. Maybe I should see if we can pull up one more. And maybe I'll read those lyrics. The Silver Shadow, but it's plain and simple.
talks about how she didn't believe in herself and she wondered, you know, would she ever make it? And then all of a sudden she saw this shining star. You're a shining star. And again, this is New Age theology, it's demonology, it's the worship of spirits, astral theology really at the core. And she says that this spirit is what opens the doors for her. Alright? So in Touch of Four-Leaf Clover, have it reflected, of course, an induction of superstition, occultism, find love, which people do who use love spells and things of that nature. Okay? You might get, you just might get me. Again, endorsing superstition by what look. And to catch me is to catch a leprechaun. Okay? Can't make it up. Okay? We said shining star and flashlight had a connect fantasy. Okay? EWF, Earth, Wind, and Fire, in the Egyptian Commission imagery. We've talked about that before. Now, not to demonize them. Don't you feel the good intent behind their music? Don't you know that that is the lure of New Age? New Age don't look ugly. Okay? Don't be the type of person that think everything that glitters is gold. Okay? That imagery plays on a lot of things in your mind. Glamour, luxury, former past royalty and kingship. Okay? Fantasy. Take a ride in the sky on a ship and decide. It says victory in a land called fantasy. It's the one world imagery. Bring your mind to everlasting liberty, freedom, or salvation by way of the mind. Okay? Sister Precious had pointed out, do you remember the 21st of September? I had to look it up because I know that that date is what you call a cusp. My grandfather was born on the 21st of September, the one that brought my old dude into the arts. And he claimed both Libra and was it going from Virgo to Libra? Both Virgo and Libra. Okay, that was his claim. But September 21st is the autumnal equinox. Okay, equinox equal night. And that's the one for autumn. December 1st is the one for winter. Actually called the solstice. That has to do with the sun. But again, it's a night of sacrifice, a night of rituals. Thanks, Precious. Mabon, M-A-B-O-N, September 21st. So, again, he hides things in happy skin because he knows that's the best way to get that poison in. Okay, you dress it up, make it look good, make it look pretty to you, make it appeal to your sense of pride and vanity. Vain, glorious. The sense of past glory, living in the past, living in a fantasy. Let's move forward. Now, this was one I was listening, and I said, well, nah, you know, I ain't caught it in this one, but once a person isn't offended, they usually be a repeat offender. Anita Baker, Feel the Need. Now, when I was going through some gospel tunes, I was interested to hear the song with her and the Winans. It'll be all over in the morning, right? You know, all Detroiters. But what I was looking for was this. And, you know, maybe I'll take some time and put together a gospel one, but I don't because I'm not that well versed in the old school or the new school. You know, I know the songs pretty much everybody else knows as far as that goes, but
I was looking for the word Jesus, because the old schoolers, and one was Matty Moss Clark, said that that was the big issue in crossover gospel, was that you had to be ambiguous. And I heard it. I've heard it many a times from most of the songs that they play on the radio that y'all consider to be gospel. You have to be ambiguous, and you can't say the name of the Messiah. It has to be ambiguity concerning who exactly or what exactly you're talking about. And guess what? Lucifer would take it any way he can get it. He's called the God of this age. It's the God in me. He's called the Prince of the Earth. Okay, he's Prince fans. Okay, he considers himself a God. So to say God or King, assuming that what you mean is what everybody else gets the impression of, is a songwriter secret personified. I call them the throw-off lyrics. Okay, like in Come Into My Life, where she says, boy, I adore you. That's the throw-off. Like when Luther says, girl, that's the throw-off. You know what time it is. Okay, but again, it's about deception. It is a deception. But if you know what the truth is behind the deception, you can see through it. Okay, you will see through this if what the truth is. Okay, so that, you know, that's why I don't really get off into the gospel. That's not. I'm not qualified. Let's say that. But got to look at some things. The Stellar Awards. Okay, Stellar having to do with the stars. Again, the stars, this bright shining light, the shining star. So let's continue. Feel the Need, it was the last verse for me that clinched it. Because I was ready to, you know, it's bad music. I'm trying to tell you, the music is tough. I believe it's one of her best produced songs as a producer. You know, having been a producer and a lyricist, I separate the two in my mind just off rip. From years and years of working in recording studios, making stuff for others as well as for myself, I can do that. So I will hear the beat and I'll hear the lyrics separately. Okay, but now guess what? I can't do that like I think I can, because that's not how the mind is designed. These people are masters at how to get something implanted into your mind. Okay, they become one. They become one thing. So it's not really feasible, viable, or logical, or reasonable to say that, well, I just listen to the beat. You may consciously just listen to the beat, but not only are the lyrics sinking into your conscious, but the meaning also. Guess what? There's a part of you that's connected to the all-knowing. And if that part of you, if your spirit man is feeling this song because of just the music, so you think, it's also soaking up the spirit that's behind it. We know from John Todd and others that they, the powers that shouldn't be, who run and control this mind control program called the music business, take the records, take the master, and they, all the slaves that are made off the master. Okay, that's the thing that the album is recorded on, that you dub all the other ones off of. That's called the master, because of their master. But they take the master and they ask the spirits and demons that they work with to attach themselves to the master, so that every slave that is made and every slave that is played releases these spirits out into the listener. They pray that prayer, or they curse that curse. I said that way first. So it was the last verse, around 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, after the solo is played, when she comes back in. She says, everybody's saying I got to be a fool, I gotta be crazy for loving you. I'm starting to wonder If there's truth in what they say, she said, my mind says to leave you, but my heart says I better stay. I want to feel like I'm something more than a passing thought to you, from you. I need to know if the things you say are true. So you'll find a lot of songs too where the singer is trying to convince the spirit that works for Lucifer, or Lucifer himself, to come into them, to come into their lives. Okay? Baby, come to me. Okay? How can I ease the pain? She says, on her knees her pray, on her knees she prayed for the strength to stay away. She says, out and in and out you go. And you thinking this is just about some man coming in and out her door. No. This is about something deeper. Yep. This is about something much deeper. And the bottom line is, they're all in one way or another trying to get a hold to a spirit, okay, that has a preference for one or the other. Okay, they have their bodies that they prefer. Certain bodies they tend to be able to work better through. Okay, or better said, certain bodies they seem to be more attracted to. Okay, and so you sing your affection and your love to these spirit beings. All right, you're pining for them to come to you. All right. So again, she, like many other artists, has said them things in interviews that make you know that it's something to it. She says the same thing. She said the same thing that Beyonce said about something coming over you at that moment, and you can't do it again the same way. She says that in the beginning of one of her videos. It escapes me. Somebody know. In the very beginning, before the song come on, I'm talking about one of her jams back in the day, is how the video was shot. She starts off in that in the very beginning, before Beyonce ever said it. Okay? But that's talking about that spirit coming over you, and that's really the magic that you need. Okay? Sweet freedom, shine your light on me. You are the magic. You're right where I want to be. I can do magic. Let's go again. Alright, and that Earth, Wind, and Fire. You have the dream programming. Lots of songs like that. Riding through the ocean of thoughts and dreams, you know. Don't wake me, I'm dreaming. Lots of songs about dreaming programming. Again, that relates to MK Ultra and mind control. The Project Monarch, they say that the Monarch symbolism had to do with the lightheadedness that people who are under mind control sometimes feel and undergo. Okay, but we know that there's more. But that's something to take note of, all right? As we look at some more songs and New Atlantis theory, the Aquarian Age programming. The song Fantasy really takes you away. When I was a child, that song would take me away. I loved for that song to come on the radio, or for my mom to go ahead and play that song. It was eerie, but it felt like I was really taking a ride, you know, in the sky on a ship, and I couldn't decide. There's just too much going on. The instrumentation is going on, the lyrics is going, and, you know, you get lost in Philip Bailey's voice, wondering, is this a woman, is this a man? Yeah, when I was a little boy, I heard reasons I didn't know. I had a lot of reasons I didn't know. Have mercy, let's move forward. But yeah, I thought that was a lady. I remember I told my mama, I was little, I was like, I like how that lady sings. She said, boy, that's not a lady. That's how I knew it wasn't a lady. But let's continue. Behind the Groove. Let's look. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Move out the way. Move out the way. Today. It's mad it's more than one screen up. Well, Behind the Groove, what I had. First of all, she says she's going to take you to Xanadu. Where's that? Xanadu is a Marvel Comics character who is a voodoo priestess, basically. Somebody know more about comic books than me. You can expand on that, but I believe she was down with Shazam and, you know, the whole Marvel Comics crew. But she was a tarot card reader. So again, we have this magic imagery. Again, and this fantasy imagery. Behind the groove. Is it eerie? Behind the groove, there's another inside of you. Hold on, let's see. It's not popping up. Okay, let's move forward. If it comes up, then I'll give you the lyrics. But y'all know how to look up lyrics. You do it all the time. But she says you can last forever and a day. That's part of the Luciferian lie. You will not surely die lie. Have mercy. Again, the Aquarian age, New Age philosophy. You will die. And you ain't going to take none of that stuff with you. Your beads, your candles, your incense, your spell book. Tina Marie lyrics. Let's look and see. I believe we did open that up though, and we nailed it good. Let's check it out. It's taking its time. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Come on. Hey baby, oh, let me take you to Xanadu. Where's that? Behind the groove. There's another side inside of you. You can make them true.
And shake your body. Believe that the dance enhances the trance. There is a spell and behind that. You can dance forever. No, you can. Okay. Got to move. Get behind it. Don't you let your spirit. Another me. You take you if you do. Okay. Jumped off and went somewhere else. Let's look at golden time of day. Frankie Beverly and Mays with the 6-finger hand, 6 finger, 1 thumb, 7-digit hand. That is their logo. That was the Nephilim. We know what time it was with the Nephilim. Genesis chapter 6. The men of renown. Okay, these word spirits, these were the distorted beings, the demons, the giants of old, okay, who came up with these tales and showered the rulers with gold. And these tales are what you hear retold and rehashed throughout New Age and all of its derivatives, and it's the reason why people have a hard time believing in what they should believe in. So that's bad business for you. Yeah, another Janus, persona Janus, two-headed. You gotta watch other video. I'm tired of saying the same thing. Look up two-headed deity. It's the Luciferian agenda. People somewhat owning that. Like Donald Marshall had first came out with, and we don't know if that was actually happening or if he's under deep mind control with some of his more recent actions with tell me. What do I know? Just from Detroit. Golden time of day. The music is smooth to allow you to. That's to let it sleep. You got to know, right? Spell, sleep, play with the. So to sleep with the smooth groove. So then the heavyweight lyrics can be slips in. That's why drinks are very sugary. Did you know that helps intensify the intoxify? Did you know that?
to intensify the strength of the drink. And drinks are called spirits. It's a similar dynamic here. Okay. It sounds sweet. It sounds sweet to you. It's good music. Okay? It was on because it was a song I used to play. Shine, children, shine. Can't you see it shining? I'm talking about the song. I'm talking about a day's ritual time. When I was reading the demonology books, you know, at certain times you're advised to do certain rituals over other times. That's the golden type mercy. Let your love light in flight. Okay? A new age theory. Let your love light shine. See, you're so damn goofy. Things sound good and sound pretty. You go for it. You're a fool for flattery. Okay? Don't fall for it just because it sounds poetic. That's how R&B dudes make their bread and butter. They sing poetic to the spirit. They couldn't possibly fix their mouth to say or their mind to think. Listen to the song, and you believe about you. The levels control flowing. Let your love light shine in the astral theology in love. Now, we talked about this in other videos, so we're not going to go back through it. But love, L-O-V-E, word we use for a most powerful emotion. In Corinthians, when it says of all these is charity, the word was agape, which is the highest form of love, the love of God to man, the unconditional love. Okay, the unchanging love, the agape love. Okay, so put the word love on it, which is one of them flip words, flip it backward. Okay, it's one of those words. Sorry, words in this language like that. God, eat. Okay, love back, and you have evil, the way that you really say it. You don't say it like Vincent Price. Vincent knows that out in evil. You ain't got it like that. Okay. Y'all know what Burn Rubber said? Burn Rubber by the Gab Band. He telling a story about the strawberry. I believe I said before. Get out? Well, I'm gonna say it one more. He said, told me to go up the block, get strawberry rock, and when I got back, you hit rubber. After that, he came back with the dope, and she was going like, nope. And was strawberry. And from anyway, what that means, that's a girl who gives sex for drugs. Specifically. Alright. Marvin fought the system. He had a lot of songs that did not fall neatly into this category. One great example is Life is for Learning from the album In Our Lifetime. You know, because they promoted. He did a lot of songs that they chose not to promote with Town and after being with him. After he left. Because he was constantly struggling. Okay, and juggling. Like the real artistic mind would naturally. You're being told what you can write if you think. But if you want to write of the moms or about your girl, now if they make provision for that, you got to pay back. That's what you do every day. You probably got to give them too. Because if you look, everybody has more than a few. Okay? Just throw you a bone every now and then, just to keep you on that hook. That's That's what they call a chorus to a song. But had a few, especially on his latter albums, like Lifetime, you'll find some different stuff on there.
But he was still in a confusion, having come out of my control, you know, a lot of weird motor stuff going. I believe Taylor was an early sacrifice, and again, R.I.P. to Simone, and Simone Battle, who passed away the night saying that you hung yourself in your own closet. Don't sound right, but a few days prior to that, there was the blue conscience, like Mark Lloyd was running down the street talking about they tried, maybe she got away, and the other sister did not. Of course, I don't know that. I'm just a brother from Detroit.
We'll continue. Gil here in Detroit, he has quite a few. One of my favorites is We Almost Love Detroit. Thumbs up. No guile or deception. It's about a real situation about the Fermi 2 nuclear plant. And they thought it was going to blow. Okay, let's move forward. Now, something more in the modern era, but only because I just happened to hear it. Somebody was playing the music, you know, in Detroit. They playing music in the background now. You're always going to hear some music. And I know songs. I know a lot of songs. And I liked the beat. I ain't going to tell you, I didn't. Maxwell Ascension. Thought it was a very groovy song. You know, it's been years. That was his old album. Biggie was alive then. But let me tell you, never realized it before. Should not realize. It's all about the song. So pretty wings fall out. You believe you're talking about something else. They talking about you. Know what is going on.
You don't know what to believe, who to like, or how to feel. Their confusion's so blowed all the time. Going through the things that they go through because of the things that they have to do.
So pray for them. But should not realize you're the highest of the high. It happened the moment when you were revealed, because you would not have been a fantasy real. And you be, well, he talking about me. That's how I want Chris to feel. Don't hold your breath. But yeah, they make a living off of coming up with this impossible stuff that describes love in a way that makes it intangible, unreachable, unlearnable, and unteachable. Because your definitions of it have been hijacked by people who have love only on the condition that they do what they told. And they complete their mission. Have mercy. And they be hoping, praying, cursing, and wishing to get in a higher position. You ready? Michael Jackson fans, you ready to box? You don't want to box with an ox. Human nature. Human nature. Oh, the song is so pretty, it can't be nothing wrong. She's so pretty, it can't be nothing wrong with her. It's the same philosophy. It's the same philosophy. That's the one that have Seafood Bay down below there. Don't leave everything look good. Is good. That's how they get you. Or everything that sounds good is good. Again, Lucifer was the chief minister chief ministering angel in praising with music. He's taken that and perverted it. He wants to praise. Let's finish Ascension real quick. It happened the moment you were revealed, because you were a dream that should not have been real. You gave me this beating, baby.
This rhythm inside, and you made me feel nice and love. Give me paradise. Ain't no woman in paradise, and you can't get paradise from one man. Okay? It's part of that deception. Make me feel like paradise. Why they use the same wording? Again, there's a standard. There's certain words that always go to because it has a meaning to them. You as a gay succubus loving them, looking in their face, skinning and grinning, you the only one don't know. They know exactly what they intend to do.
And that's to put one over on you.
It's a human nature.
Looking out across the nighttime. City winks a sleepless eye. Well, you tend to only wink one eye, I guess. You blink both and wink one. Interesting, isn't it? But again, that's that symbolism. You've seen him as a child throwing up the 666 symbol, the OK symbol. Of course, this is something that's taught to them and shown to them by others. Michael was young when he made this. Okay. Hear her voice shake my window. Sweet, seducing sighs get me out into the night. So the sweet, seducing sighs get him out into the night. Now, Michael ain't on no single level. Who up against his window? It's just imagination. Beat it. You're in the wrong place.
Woodward. Anna Leon Love. Let's move on. Now, Alicia Myers didn't appear to be with it. Maybe that's why she got replaced by Anita in Chapter 7. Anita still is in the mix. Sade, Anita, you know, those ladies put in work in the 80s. So Anita is still in the mix. And you have Once Bitten by Vesta, which is a lamentation. Okay, she says, keep one eye open. Again, we have the wink for the bad guy. So somebody's telling them to do this wink and be suspicious when the moon's high. So there is the occult reference. There's no shame in losing control. I'm cracking up. That's what the doctors keep telling me. Her first words in the song is, your name is Dracula. You suck the life right out of me. The thing called reality. Again, MK Ultra. Symbology, the bananas symbolism in the video on a picture behind her. I believe as she's coming out of the doctor's office. She said, the doctors keep telling me, what kind of love is this? Who names a love song like that, Once Bitten? It's what made me not like it. It was kind of different and weird. And then look at her passing before her time. She said, you took my love, as the song going off, you took my love and made me crazy. Now everything's so hazy. That's to the chief of the industry. She was directing that to them. This is a lamentation. Okay, Golden Goddess reference. Ramsey Lewis and Sun Goddess. And it's a reference to the Sun Goddess, the Golden Lady. To see the heaven in your eye, you're not gonna see heaven in nobody's eyes. Again, it's just poetic. It's religious symbolism. Okay? Because they have a religion. They're worshiping Lucifer and the fallen ones, his spirits, his demons, who masquerade as beings of light, and tell them that they can be light beings too. Alright? He said he's closing both his eyes. Closing his eyes, seeing this demon spirit in woman form. Now, we supposed to believe he can't see, so he had to be imagining this, right? Let's move forward. It's clear to me that you made my dream come true. There's no way that I'll be losing. Again, shoot me up, baby. This is what takes you to the top. So now he's got his spirit acting right. He's going to the top. He said, I'd like to go there. I said, go where? Take me right away. Okay? Knee deep. Not just knee deep in a trance. Something about the music. This is how they repeat it hypnotically. She always make me dance. So here again is a woman, this dream form woman. Okay, it got into my pants. Succubus spirit, freak of the week. When she danced, she set the world on fire. A freak means something different today. And really, based on your community. Okay? There was a little cartoon character, a comic book character called the Freak. And he was called the Freak. Freak was weird. And then you'll hear, in one community, they'll say freaking out. And that means you bugging, you going nuts, you wilding, going bananas, nervous. And in another community, they say freaking out, and they're talking about having wild sex. So you have that difference there. And this song is using a duality play because both things are in play. She's strange. She is strange, like the Freak, the comic character, the Freak. When she danced, she set the world on fire. Her dancing and her movement is causing his spirit and his demeanor and his behavior to change. Alright, and that's strange. Let's check out some more. Now, this directly relates to what you find Marvin said at times. We talked about. He had these dreams of this lady, the spirit lady.
and she would always be dancing and spinning around. He said that in some lyrics before about dancing and spinning around. He wasn't just talking about some woman just dancing and being free and whatever, like you might imagine a lady from the 70s and 60s to just be spinning around dancing. No, he was talking about this succubus that would often come to him in his dreams, and she would come to him in his dreams and would dance seductively. Okay, this sounds like the knee-deep freak of the week. And freak of the week, as in not strong. Freak of the week. Let's move forward. Okay. Yes, she's strange. And they like it. So yeah, the false light. Marvin dreamt of a spirit woman often and believed he found her, and who would cause his divorce and later become his second wife. She was 16 years old. He was 30 something. Met her in the studio. Somebody had brought her there. Okay, the spirits will set you up. The Alpha Boys and all that. Marvin believed he was being followed and tracked and everything. See, it seems to hang.
As for the Simpson, that spirit, it does seems to hang on. You know the name, the second wife, this young girl who was brought away from Barry Gordy's sister, who was his first wife and helped put him on in life. Her name was Janice. Can't make this stuff up. You hear him at the end of I Wanna Be Where You Are on the I Want You album as the song's going on. He's, oh, Janice. Okay, I Want You was dedicated to Janice. She inspired that music, all the freakiness going on there. Oh, girl, though you're promiscuous, I don't mind a bit, 'cause you're still the great A. In bed, you're miles ahead. That's from the I Want You album. Okay, I Want You itself. Okay, again, so he wanted her bad. Okay. By a whole woman, a man will be reduced to a morsel of bread. Proverbs 7 women all throughout the music business. Now, this is it by Kenny Loggins. That's about the business. Make no mistake where you are. You're going no further. But, okay, the album is called Keep the Fire. For once is your miracle. That other belief, okay? You lose all thought, sense of time, and have a change of mind. You better let it go. You better let that other belief go. He says, Lord, what more can I say? What's left to provide? Your soul. Because here come Michael McDonald to let you know, tell you so. You think that maybe it's over, singing in a haunting voice like a spirit, only if you want it to be. Okay? And again, it's a song that's supposed to geek you up to go ahead and get involved. Okay? His moment is now about to decide. He said, let him believe, but leave him behind. Keep me here in your heart. Again, Michael, I'm sure, showed him the technique. Sting knows it too. Sing back and forth, sometime as the spirit, sometime as you. You sing as spirit, it helps it to adhere to you. Come on, people. You got your $10 gloves on. All right, we're almost done now, seriously. So it encourages you, and go ahead and get a hold. It makes you think that everything that glitters is gold, and this is what who believes. It's a very philosophical song. This is it by Kenny Loggins. I suggest that you examine the lyrics. This was one I wasn't expecting.
And this is the last one found. And we'll probably get to the Adam and Eve tomorrow. Let's just these two that I've dropped today. The Adam and Eve is finished. And then I can get some ideas on, you know, do you want me to actually read the whole thing? What can you? It takes almost 3 hours to read. So living in the light. Karen Wheeler, you may remember her from Soul to Soul. She was the lead singer, the Back to Life. That's Karen Wheeler. She did her own solo thing after Soul to Soul changed up. Okay, membership and whatnot. She did her own thing. She had a few good songs. Living in the Light was the one I remembered. I pulled it up, found it. Children of Nature, From Another Culture, Had to Survive, Living in the Light, Stolen the Center of the World, Untimely Departure, Somehow Survived, Living in the Light. She knew of this light. M said, and blame it on the boogie, which is just another name. Man, back then they called him Rain Man. Excuse me, back then they called him Boogie Man, the boogie. It was the Boogie Man. It was a code name for this spirit. You know, spook him, I'm sure, at first. And kids used to be spooked if you see man was after him. So they shortened it, blame it on the Boogie Man. Listen to the lyrics. But Mike saying that song, I seen it, believe me. And they will end with this.
As the light is changing, if that popped up, it didn't pop up.
You might think I'm crazy, but I'm serious. You better know right now. What I thought was happiness was only part-time bliss. Can take a while. She was right on it. Then she gets to the, now you're thinking this is a guy trying to wine and dine her. She's a Jackson, for God's sake.
She been riding limousine. She was penny on good time. But when she gets to the riding in your limousine, you say yes, and I say no. This brings us to a stop. The light is changed again. Like Sade, still looking like you're getting disappointed looking for this never comes. Okay? It's like any of you bumping your talk about lighting, you shining and the blah blah blah. Show me. You know Kung Fu, Neo, show me. That's what Moore said to Neo in the movie, and that's what I'm gonna say to you. Get that new ageness out your mind, because as you see, it was believed by some of the entertainers of all time, and if they couldn't get it, it was something they couldn't find. Well, you better off being involved with the true, living, all-knowing divine. Alright? That's been my time, and I appreciate you. Thank you again. Back with another irregularly scheduled deprogramming very soon, my friend. Unplug from Detroit, Michigan.